Hi everyone, welcome to this part whereby in the previous parts we just seen how to insert and delete the data comes from database. Now we're going to focus on how to delete and update anything comes in our table. So by now on, what we do have from here, we do have this one as the student list, nothing else, just retrieving those kind of the data, that's all. So now we're going to make sure we're going to add some addition here by putting like some update and read to this kind of thing. We just done with the add student, whereby you can add in as wish as we can, more of them. Can have test patient for number, test number third, put any kind of the age 32, and then generate some password here. You can generate some password from here. I'm not want to write anything. You can see just being automatically created. Okay, now we're going now to come here wherever we need to add a button to update and read. So how can we do that things? But before, let us even add something here. We can add under the data table, we can add the border. Let us use one so that we can have something looks like this way. Sorry. Okay, you can see this how you can add this kind of the border to be 1 or 2. You can choose wherever you can use, no matter what, it doesn't matter, it's going to work. Okay, you can see you can put different borders to be added here. So you can see after updating the border, we need to add another column for update and read. So you can come here, that means we need another column from here. I'm going to add another column here. I'm going to call it H column. Of course, is a column, and then this kind of the column, it needs to have face it. That means name is going to be header. This one is going to be header, of course, the same, and then the header is going to be action. Okay, can have the action, and under the action you need update and read. Okay, we need two buttons to add update and read. So we can achieve this one by, that means we're going to use what we call command link. Can add a link or button whenever, no matter what. Okay, can add the link, and then this kind of the link, we need to specify the value for it. You can specify the value for it, or we can just do like this way, and then it says this one is going to be update. Okay, we need the two buttons. We need two buttons. Also another one, then another one is going to be delete. Can have delete like this way. Now if we come here and do it to refresh, you can see they're saying that update, this link is disabled as it is not nested with JSF form delete or update. So there's something we need to enclose our form component under the form. Okay, how can we achieve that? If you get this error, it's okay, there's nothing wrong. Just come here, just come back here. You can see this one, it is surrounded by the component we do have from here. We need to add the UI component. So that means I'm going to come here and then I add H form. Can you add the form, and then like this way, let me just cut this one, let me put this one, and then like this way, and then we close like this way. Okay, by adding the form, now if we back there and then try to refresh, let us what's going to happen. You can see now we have update and delete, but let us put something that can identify them. We can put, as long as we do have this one, you can put like bar, this kind of the bar, nothing else. You can add the bar, vertical bar, and then so that can be a differentiate them. Okay, let me just save, and then we back here, we refresh. Can you see we can now, so we can do something else. We can add as a button, you can do anything, can work. So we need to make sure when the user click on update, you can see there's nothing happening. Just come back on this kind of the class. We need to make sure wherever the end user click on update is going to put somewhere else. It's going to redirect our page somewhere else. Okay, how can we achieve this one? We need to make sure, we need to specify exactly where to put action. We need to specify where to send this kind of the file. Okay, so of course we're going to have for project we're going to have you can see we have confirmation, we have registration. We can come up and use this kind of the registration one. We can use the registration one by default, whereby the end user cannot able to we can add something on this kind of the form, like from here, command ring action update. Whenever the user click on update, we can call the registration page, and then we populate data on that kind of the form. It can work, but we need to make sure for the password, because it is the one that is the primary key. If we need to update data, the primary key cannot be altered, cannot be changed. That means we need to make sure it is static, no one can be able to modify it. Okay, so how can we achieve this one? The better way, let us create a new page. Let us have JSF page for confirmation. That's called update student form. This is going to be an HTML file. That means you need to update the student. Okay, then click finish. Allow me to go under the registration. Let us grab all the information you do have from here. Let us copy and they paste this one here. I want to make things easier as we can, so that we don't mess up. You can see we do have everything comes from here for the update student. Actually, it's going to be the same thing, but for the password, we're going to make sure no user cannot able to edit. Okay, because we're going to use that kind of the update, because it's our primary key actually. Okay, so now if we need to make sure we just want, wherever the user click on action, we need to return the page of update student with some data populated comes from database. If I come here and say update, update student, and then refresh. If I come here, then do some refresh on this one, and then I come here and then I click update, you can see it's going to direct me to this. You can see we still have student registration page, but we're going to change this one to be student updated page, update student page. You can see it should populate this kind of data to be visible on a screen. Here we go. Let me show you how can we achieve this one. So that means we need to, let us first change this one. It is not update, mean update student. It's no longer update. What is it? What is the oops, what did I copy? Okay, it is update student page. Let us say update student page. We need to make sure we prepare this data to be automatically be visible here. So now we need to come here. I want to do the things so that wherever we have this kind of information, it's going to return there. So now whenever the user click on update, it's going to come here, and then after update, then it return back. You can come here, have a button not register, button called update. Okay, so that we don't mess up. Wait, as refresh, click update. You see it is working. When the user click on update, automatically it's going to update the information. We good. Now the thing we need, let us back to the student list page. We need to call a certain method with some value, because we need an ID of this guy so that can be updated. How can we do these things? So let us go to our student. I'm going to create down here public. It has to return, this one will return the student, update student form, string update student. We need to update student. So what do we need in order to update the student? We need ID to update the student, of course. It's going to be ID, our primary key, it is password, okay? And then it is a string, that is why I say passwd. This one, passwd, is our primary key for our table as we created, okay? So it have to return, at the end, it has to return what? It has to return class, it has to return update student. It has to return update student page. It has to return this kind of the update student, as long as we just provide all the information. So now if we come here, we say action, I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to make sure we do like this way, and then provide this one. It says student dot update. You can see we have update student, and then need to provide the password. The password is going to come from here. We need to pass this kind of the password, exactly this is the one we need to grab. Okay, we can come here, stud dot password. Okay, the password comes from database. We pass as a parameter to go under the update function, okay, or method. Okay, now if we back here and then try to refresh it, as try to back to the page. If we click update, you can see just returning the page as we did before, because it's just under the update student, under this class, we say return the update student class. Okay, I mean update student form. This is a form. Okay, I think it might mess up. Let us add a form so that you see errors different between the class name and this one. Let us update this one to be, you can go ahead and rename, refactor by renaming, go Ctrl plus R, and then it says going to be update form. Okay, and then refactor. Great. So here we go. Now we need this data to update student information, but for this update student, where we need to get, actually we should get student. Okay, because we need first to get the student. I'm going to change something, of course. We need to get student. After getting student, now we update the student. You get the point? So I'm going to change something here. Bear with me. I'm going to say get student it has used forget is going to misuse find student by ID. Okay, let us start find student by password, because it is our primary key. We just need to find the student. Okay, by finding student, we provide the primary key. Okay, that's the reason why I use find student by password. Now let us come here under the student list, update this one to be find student by password. Okay, because that's our primary key. Now let us back here. We need to find this kind of the student, and then we populate data to be visible on the form. So that means allow me to copy from here. We have select all from student. I'm going to just copy this one until here, and then we edit. Okay, we don't have to continue to type each and everything. I just paste down here. I'm going to remove the things I no longer need. Let us just remove this one. Let us also, you have just know exactly the 4 steps. Let us remove the comments so that you have shortest of thing. So okay, we don't need to return the list of the student, because you just need to return only one student list. So bear with me. That's how just okay, let us do like this way. Let us remove this one until here so that we know exactly what we're doing. So we say we have the result set. It's going to execute the query. So we need to select all from table student, where we specify where password, the column called password under the database is equal to, we provide the code and then do concatenation. We say is equal to pass w, the password we provided by this kind of the method. We select all from student where pass w is this right this way, and then we say while result still have something. If it has something, it's going to loop to that kind of the information. Okay, we need those information. Allow me to copy. Let us have this information only. We need to set this kind of the information only. I don't have to repeat each and everything. We have this. That means we have student, and then we have student information. This is an object, and then we set first name, last name, age, and password. Okay. Now we need to make sure this kind of thing need to be visible to the screen. I mean to the update form, because if we just remaining like this way, and then we try to go ahead and try to refresh the page, it has back to student list. If I click on update, what's going to happen? You can see just returning the input form. Though we need some data to be populated. That means we need to do what we call mapping. We need to map this kind of the student to exactly to this form. Okay, how can we do the things? Let us go here together. So we need to make sure whenever we have this kind of information, we need to update them, to map them to be visible automatically. So actually, this thing is going to be mapped to the external. We're going to use what we call the some external context. External context. External control space. Let's see what we have here. External context. We're going to use this kind of the context because we need to grab all the information from here. And then it's set as a external context, and then it's going to be faces context, just faces context, and then dot get current instance. We need to get exactly the current things happening. Okay, dot get external context. That's all from here. So what do we mean from here? So we just need because we're going to populate data to elsewhere, so we need to map this kind of the file we retrieve from database to an external page or somewhere else. Okay, so we need to get now the instance, the current logged in user, the current session we're just using, because this one it's what's called scope session, so on. That means we're going to use this kind of the context exactly on the same page. Okay, and then we need to map. We use kind of this kind of the map, and then specify which map we're going to map exactly using string. It's going to be string, and then it's going to be our object. You can just and then need to request map. This is going to be the name, nothing else. And then we're going to use the external context we do have dot get request map. We need to get request map. We need to request map. Okay, and then put semicolon. Of course, you need to import this kind of the map because we are just mapping. Add import Java. It's found java.eta.map. Okay, and then after this one, lastly, after grabbing this kind of map, now we're going to use that kind of the request map, because we need to map this kind of all the information we're going to put all the information of the student to the student. So what we're going to map, actually, I'm going to show you something. So under the put, we need the string. We have to map those kind of information, and then we need an object. This an object comes from this. Is going to be this kind of actually this should. Okay. So I want to show you something under this update student information. Do you remember we have this kind of the student. You're just using this kind of the student. That means this is going to be the string we need to map using this one. Okay, so I'm going to come here, say student, provide a string student, and then we're going to map by using what? Stud. This kind of the stud. That means we need to grab this kind of the object we created here, and then we pass here. That means all the information is going to be mapped, and they can be accessed by using this kind of the student only. You see? Okay. Now we go. That's all what we need. Now if we back there, let us back to our list, and then we try to click on update. You can see that has been populated, but the password, because it is secret, it's hidden by default, cannot be visible. I'm going to show you how we can make it visible, so that because we are going to use this kind of the password to update student. Okay, you can see it has it populated the data from here. So even though if we back here, just choose this one, the same process, test student. That's how we just map those kind of the information to the end user. So allow me, let us go here. I hope you just seen these things inside the white. That's after grabbing the information of that kind of the student. If he or she found, we map them here. Okay, and then after that we return the update student form. So now I want to come here and update student form. Like if we come here, we change the label, we change the input secret to be like the same as text. This one is going to be visible. It has the text to test if it's going to work. Image just not secret, it's going to be text. I want to show something. Now if we come here, it has come here, update. You can see now the password can be retrieved. Okay, but we need to make sure this password should be hidden by default. We need these things to be hidden by default, so that the end user should not able to modify. Or you can change, we add the property read only. Okay, we can add the property read only, or we can make it hidden. Okay, how can we make it hidden? We can come here, just use, instead of using input text, we can use input hidden. Okay, can use input hidden, and then you cross right down here, hidden. We good. That's how can you cross it. Okay, we just input hidden, then the label is not found here. You can remove the label because there is no need for the label actually. So of course it is required, but this one also is no need. We don't need it actually, because we are going to grab automatically the value comes from here. So you see, this is how the input hidden works. That means if I come here, web browser, and then I try to refresh, let us back here, and then I click update, what's going to happen? You can see the label just there, but we just need to remove the label because this one is hidden. No one can view that kind of things because we don't need someone else to edit it. Okay, or you can change the password to be so that no one can be able to edit. Okay, that's all, nothing else. So let us back here, we can just remove like this way, and then we hope we're good from this one. Of course this one you don't need for, because there's no there won't be any error, because of course this one will be retrieved automatically from database. So now let us have something else. We can remove this one, text message, because don't need it. That means we just input hidden, we just put the password there, and then we don't need to validate it because no one will be able to edit. So that's all. That's what we need actually. Let us make it like this way. Okay, we just have input hidden for the password. It's going to know exactly what to put there. Okay, we good. So now we need now when the user click update, it's not going to direct him or her to the save student. We need to direct him to the update student. Okay, we need to update student. Here we go. That's going to be this last thing. We need to come to the student. I'm going to have method here. This method, let's say public. It has to return the list. It should go automatically to the list. Public string update. Now student, by of course it will provide some information. Okay, we need those kind of the information. This kind of information comes from here. Student. So now we just need to return, after this saving, we need to return student list. Okay, we need to return student list. Okay, now under the update, you can see let us have this one. Allow me, let us try and catch first, and then we catch, and then try catch all exception. Dot create stack trace. And then let us have this one. It's going to be the same thing. We paste down here. Let us have string SQL. That's going to be update. Specify table called student. Now we set. We need to set data. Okay. We need to set first. We need to set by using this. Exact the first name. By set first name underscore name to be equal, under the quote also put comma. We have also last name if user update it, and then it's provided this one. Also we need also age if make some updates, and then say where password is equal to exactly the password the user provided. Okay, that means now we're going to do concatenation. And then let us do like this way. Let us have student dot get. We need to get first name. Also we need to have this one. Also is going to be the same process. Student dot get last name. Also for the age, age is going to be like this way, and then add is going to be student dot get age. So lastly, for the password, where password is equal to exactly to the student dot password, not password dot get the get password. So this one on the set we just put comma, but on the where we don't put comma. Please don't note that one. Okay, now we just need to use to the end. Let us have we need integer number. Let us call rows affected. Affected is going to be to the statement dot execute update. Okay, we just execute update as I told you, and then you can now come here. We just rows affected student dot execute update. Now we go. We say if rows affected greater than or equal to 1. Now we can go ahead. Even return the list, no matter what. Okay, great. Now if we come back, now we need this one to be the one to be called under the update student form. Okay, not save student. We need to update student, and then we pass exact the student with all the information we have from here. Now if we come here on our page, let us back to the student list. Let us update, like for example, test this one. Let us change the name. Let us update this one. Let us put, for example, Wela Melly. If it goes, I don't know. Let us put 25. Now let us click update. You can see now we have Wela Melly. That you can see the data has been updated, even the age has been updated. You can choose whatever you need to update. Lastly, let us configure for the delete button. Whenever they click on button, we need to delete automatically, and then we return to this kind of the list. Okay, let us do this one. Whenever the end user click on action of let us back to the student list. Whenever click on the delete, we need to call delete only. Okay, we can say action, specify the action. You say let us put this one. You say student dot delete student. Of course, we're going to provide the ID. Let us do it now. Is provide the password, and then let us have this kind of the method for the delete student under this kind of the student. Let us do have this one. Say public string with delete student. Provide exactly is a string, because our primary key say string password. We need password to delete this one, and then after that we turn the student list. Okay, we turn the student list, and then here you go. Now we're going to have this one try and catch. Let us just copy this one, and then we edit. Let us remove this one, rows affected. Of course we can do it this way. Let us change only. We need to change the string SQL, nothing else. You can say string SQL to be equal to delete from table. Say delete from table called student, where password is equal exactly to the password the user provided, and then pass the output. We good. Now let us nothing else. That's all. That's what we need for the update. Now let us come here. Let us refresh the page. Now let us delete this user test, and then let us delete this one. Can you see after deleting, the data has been operated? Confirmed deleted. There are way you can just even before deleting and ask a user, are you sure you want to delete this guy or nothing else? Okay. let me give you a good point from here. Actually, it's a good thing. Under the student list, we can come here under this one, under the delete we do have from here. we can have something to work on. Let me show you. Okay, we can come here. We say it is a good thing as long as you need it. Let us say, let me just hit enter. It does have also it does have also on click. Let us say, can say if for example confirm, and the confirm is say are you to delete student. Okay, if provided that I'm sure, now we say we can return, otherwise return false. Okay, so that means if he or she, okay, let us use quote instead of double quote so that you don't have any error. Say, are you sure you want to delete this kind of student? Otherwise, if he or she doesn't have to return, I mean, we can this is a way to have confirmation before on click. Otherwise, we click on false. Okay, so now let us try. That means we negate. If the user click yes, that means it will be confirmed. Otherwise, we don't. Okay, this is a good thing of this one. Let us try to refresh. Let us say, do you wish to delete this one? Click on delete. Oops, give a sec. Okay, let us see what we missed here. Say return false. Oh, this one should go outside the bracket. That means return false if nothing, if we missed. Okay, now let us refresh the page. Now let us click delete. Are you showing delete the student? If click cancel, that means we're not to be deleted. But if I click OK, now you can see has been deleted automatically. That's the good thing of using JavaScript inside embedded under our JSF. Okay, great. That's the good point. That's a good point we do have from here. So now you can see we just done with update, delete, create, and update by using what's called GDBC. We done nothing else. So you can see it is quite simple. It's quite simple somehow because it didn't require you to do much of things. You can go ahead and then try to add some CSS and do everything, whatever. But you just make sure you know exactly what you're doing. Okay, you just know exactly what you're doing. You can see under the model, this kind of student has been turned to be our managed bin. It holds all the codes we're just executing right now. Okay, you see, I hope you're just going to know exactly what's going on behind the scene. So that's all what we do have from here. We have all the information. We just done with create, read, update, and read. We're done with that one. So I hope you're going to know what the use for the JSF. I hope in the next videos we are going to use the Hibernate so that you know exactly what's going on. Thank you all.